What kind of a mount are you looking for? A backyard pet your children can grow up with? Or a reliable trail animal to help you enjoy the high country? Do you love a reining spin or the intricate moves of the dressage arena? Do you long to be flying high on a jump course? Or does driving a Surrey with the fringe on top sound like your cup of tea? Whatever kind of equine companion you're looking for, you'll want one that will perform in a safe, obedient manner. The purpose of these programs is to help you understand mules and donkeys and learn how to handle and train them correctly. Now, we know that not everyone watching owns a mule. Some of you own horses. Well, there's something here for you too. You'll notice that these are simple, easy-to-follow lessons. They're designed to teach you a variety of correct training methods for horses as well as for mules and donkeys. The result? Whether his ears are long or short, you'll have a well-mannered, well-trained animal. This program features segments from an award-winning video series created for the equine industry by acclaimed trainer and educator Meredith Hodges. Because of this, you'll hear occasional references to the videos and also to the workbooks and field cards that are included with the video series. The field cards that come with the videos are a great training tool that can be taken right into the arena. We'll be sure to give you information on the complete training series later in the program. Now let's learn a little about Meredith Hodges and why so many people rely on her as their training consultant.
My wife and I raise donkeys, mules for a hobby, for pleasure. We came across Meredith's video series, and the information is just invaluable. It's far better than going to a seminar because I can view the videos over and over again. But what really sold me was with each video, there's a workbook and a field card that applies to each specific video. I take the workbooks to work with me when I'm working on a specific procedure because I'm just a novice. And then the field cards I can take with me right into the round pen with you while you're working with your animals and having a good time. And that's what Meredith tapes are so specific in understanding your animals. She shows you how to have a good time while you're training your animals so you can have a good time in the saddle, in the field, and enjoy your critters the way it should be. Thanks.
Mules are wonderful animals. They're strong, intelligent, affectionate, with a great sense of humor, and what incredible athletes. But training a mule is different than training a horse. When you're training a mule, you have to take into consideration the donkey half as well as the horse half.
Donkeys are a little different than horses and mules when it comes to round pen work. This week, we will cover the way to teach your donkey to move away from pressure and how to get the best from him in the round pen and when mounting for the first time. Remember, it's even more important than ever with donkeys to be patient and take things slowly.
Each week our program covers a different phase of management and training. No matter what kind of equine companion you're interested in, you'll find techniques that will help you reach your training goals and bond with your animal in the process. Just remember, the keys to success are patience, kindness, and understanding.
Hi, I'm Meredith Hodges. More and more people are finding out just how much fun it is to own a donkey. This program is about donkeys and how to train them. Donkeys are rather unique animals and have a slightly different manner of learning than do horses or mules. If you own a donkey or are thinking of purchasing one, you won't want to miss this program. But you need to realize that we can't possibly show you everything there is to know to train your donkey. It would be wise to consult other sources and possibly even a professional trainer. If you'd like more details about what's shown here, we'll provide information at the end of the show on how to order the books and videotapes that accompany this series. As you prepare for this next phase of training, be ready to spend many, many hours working on basic moves. Don't be disheartened if progress seems slow. Believe me, it's worth the effort. Remember that a donkey has to see a purpose for learning. You must also persuade your donkey to do what you want. You cannot force him. Talk to him a lot. Give him plenty of reward for his good behavior and discipline him gently for bad. Your goal is resistance-free training. Splint boots or leg wraps are a good habit to get into to protect your donkey's legs. A painful clip isn't the message we want to convey, and safety is always our #1 consideration. Another good idea is to lead your donkey around the area you're going to be working in. Let him inspect everything and assure himself that there are no threats or dangers. And don't assume that just because he was in the arena on Tuesday, that on Wednesday he won't need to inspect it again. Hey, he built his evolutionary success on attention to detail, so work with him, not against him. All these lessons will take place in a round pen. Mine is 45 feet in diameter. It should be large enough for him to canter, but small enough that you can stand in the center and reach him with your lunge whip. If you don't have a round pen, you can use a small square pen with 4 stout poles across the corners to make it round. Take him into the round pen with only his halter and lead. Your lesson today will be to teach him to move away from pressure. You might have noticed that donkeys are terrific crowders. They want to be as close to you as possible, and oftentimes this is not safe. You want to teach him that he must not move into you. Sometimes it's actually helpful to put yourself between the donkey and the fence and push him towards the center. Lead your donkey to the middle of the round pen and ask him to whoa. Reward him for the whoa, then step towards his shoulder, pulling his head toward you. Tap him on the flank and stifle and ask him to move over. You may have to use your whole body to shove him over. We want to keep his front end bent towards you as he steps around you in a turn on the forehand. This means his front legs remain still while his hind legs pivot around them and you. Now don't get too carried away. You only want him to take 1 step at each cue, so don't tap too hard. Ideally, he should be crossing his near hind in front of the far hind with each step. Take it slow and reward him for each step. When he gets the hang of going one direction, try him on the other side, then quit. You'll have plenty of time in his next lesson to ask for a few more steps. When he's doing the turn on the forehand fairly easily, you can begin to teach him to move his shoulders away from you with a turn on the haunches. This is actually difficult to accomplish because donkeys love to glue their front feet to the ground. This approach is a little different from what you would use if training a horse. Take the side of his halter in your left hand and ask him for 1 step forward. As he begins to move, push his face away from you as far as your arm will reach. With your right hand on the end of the lead, gently tap him on the shoulder and give the verbal command, over. Remember, you want him to turn on his haunches. If his hindquarters come over, leave your left hand on the halter and put your right hand on his shoulder. Use your body weight to shove his front end over just a step. Then stop, praise, and reward him for moving his shoulders, even if you had to do all the work. After a moment's relaxation, ask him again to move his shoulders away from you, tapping him with the end of the lead. If he turns properly, even just 1 step, great. Reward and praise him. If he does not respond correctly, use your body weight again to reinforce your cue. After about 3 tries, if he is still not responding correctly, you can be pretty sure he understands what he's supposed to do. After all, you've been showing him what you want. This is a good time to introduce him to the riding crop. The crop is an aid used when needed to reinforce a cue, and we'll be using it in all his undersaddle training. In this instance, use the riding crop to sharply tap his shoulder when asking for the turn. He will probably be so surprised that he'll step over very quickly. Be ready to reward him when he does and end the lesson there. At each lesson, ask for as many steps as your donkey will do easily in each direction and quit. Your goal is to reward him for doing this simple movement correctly. Don't overdo it. The last thing you want is to encounter resistance. Now, let's teach your donkey to back. Hold the lead in your left hand and briefly pull down and back and release as you give the verbal command back. Down, back, release. Down, back, and release. If he doesn't take a step backwards, use your right hand to push and release on the middle of his chest. Use your thumb and push until you get a response, then instantly stop pushing. 1 step equals a reward, no matter how tiny the step may be. Ask him to back 2 or 3 more times, no more, then quit. We'll be back in a moment with more round pen basics.
Colorful Colorado, with its majestic Rocky Mountains and wide open spaces, also boasts the Loveland Long Years Museum and Sculpture Park at the Lucky 3 Ranch, home of some of the finest mules and donkeys in the world. This working ranch is just 40 miles north of Denver. World-renowned authority on mules and donkeys, Meredith Hodges, invites you and your family for an adventure in learning you won't want to miss. Come visit the Lucky 3 Ranch, meet Meredith, her champion mules and donkeys, and take in the beauty of her long years art for the experience of a lifetime.
Hi, I'm Meredith Hodges, and welcome to the Lucky 3 Ranch. I get a lot of letters and emails from people with training and behavior questions about their equines. So I'm going to take you back to the beginning with a series of training tips that work for all equines. Training sessions that are too repetitious and last too long will only fatigue and frustrate your equine, resulting in unwanted resistance. If something is not working, drilling over and over for hours will not help. Rather, look at your animal's disobedience as a clue that there is something wrong, and it's preventing him from performing well. You should always keep your equine's physical conditioning in mind when working with him. When you are starting out, build strength and good posture and balance during flat work leading training, and add coordination over obstacles on the lead rope. This will begin to solidify a strong foundation of good posture from which to work. Break things down into very small, doable steps. Keep lessons short in the beginning, 15 to 30 minutes and no more than every other day. To become strong, muscles must be properly developed by being stressed, but not fatigued. After the muscles have been adequately worked, they need a full day's rest between lessons in order to grow in a healthy way. Be sure your training steps are planned logically with fairness in mind and are not overwhelming. Remember that just because your equine is a large animal, he cannot automatically do what you ask of him. He must be gradually schooled and correctly conditioned every step of the way. This logical and fair approach to training your equine will produce a willing and capable athletic companion.
Here's an engineer. How did you know that? So we go see a huge mule. Because this head, you're fine. Stroke with the hair, that's all you gotta do. Okay, come on, boys, let's go. Come on.
Every owner knows that a well taken care of equine is a happy equine. More and more, a technique being used to enhance our animals' overall conditioning is equine massage.
What you have to realize is you're training an animal in their muscle tissue, and their muscle tissue has to be able to perform the task that you're asking the animal to perform. If you're having a hard time doing the advanced things, you need to go back to the beginning. The massage helps break the pattern of the neurons that fire to that muscle, that tell it to contract, to contract, to contract.
With proper instruction, just about anyone can learn to give their equine the benefit of basic massage.
I've been working on equines for a long time, and a lot of people look at you and hope that you can just come out and make an animal better. And you can't do that. It takes two pieces, the massage as well as the exercise. And the exercise is actually more important than the massage. And that's something that people really have to understand. And Meredith's tapes do that. And a lot of people don't want to take that long a time frame. They just want to do their 60 days, get on the animal and ride them. But that's not really where you can go with their backs.
For more intensive therapeutic massage, be sure to consult a professional. Equine massage not only enhances your animal's health and overall condition, it's also a deeply personal and rewarding bonding experience for both of you.
Many of you who love your horses also love your dogs. This type of massage can be beneficial for all your pets. If you want to improve your animal's quality of life, I can help. I can either teach you how to do it, or I can massage your dogs for you. Contact me at dogmassage.com.
Hi, I'm Meredith Hodges, and welcome to the Lucky 3 Ranch Training Tips. The next lessons will take place at the workstation. Go through your usual grooming and saddling routine. Ask your equine to stand quietly while you grasp the saddle at the horn and cantle. Put your foot in the stirrup, carefully lean over his back, talking and petting him until he gets used to your new position. And be sure to reward him from his back on each side. Slowly get down, go to the other side, and repeat the exercise. Initially, you may mount your mule or donkey at the workstation. First, mount horses in the round pen where there is no ceiling overhead. When he's calm with this exercise, take him to the round pen and continue his training. Choose the type of saddle in which you feel most secure. Have an assistant stand quietly at the equine's head, but not actually hold him. You have control with your reins. Your assistant will stand by for safety. Ask your equine to stand quietly with soothing verbal communication. Grasp the saddle at the horn and cantle, and then boost yourself into a standing position at his side with your foot in the stirrup. If he spooks or bolts, let go of the saddle but maintain your hold on the left rein so you don't lose him. Quietly and firmly ask him to whoa, and then try again. When he finally stands still, reward him lavishly and then put him away. Next time, hang off the saddle on the near side and run your hands all over the far side of his body. Do this on both sides. Add swinging your leg over his back. Stay low with your upper body, leaning forward, and offer the oats reward from each side. Dismount on the opposite side from which you mounted each time. When you mount, drag your right leg firmly against his body. Move your leg gently up his hip, over his rump, and down the other side to the stirrup. Settle slowly and quietly into the saddle. Rock your weight from side to side. Continually reassure him by firmly but gently touching him all over his body. Lean forward and ask him to take oats from your hand on both sides. The more movement he can tolerate while standing still, and the calmer he is taking the oats from your hand, the better he will do later. Do only as much of this in any one lesson as he can easily tolerate. Always try to end your lessons on a positive note and do not get in too much of a hurry. That's usually where the trouble begins. Each time you dismount, always take both of your feet out of the stirrups first. Practicing good technique will keep your equine safe and comfortable during all his lessons.
Artwork inspired by mules and donkeys is quickly gaining popularity. Tennessee mule artist Bonnie Shields has the uncanny ability to capture the fun-loving nature of these free-spirited animals.
They were like a horse, but they weren't like a horse. They had a little different body. They used their body a different way. They certainly had a different mental attitude. So they started intriguing me as an artist, and I kept finding the differences between them and the horse, both physically and in their reaction to things. So that started my love affair with the mule. When you deal with the mule, you're not always in charge. So it takes a little bit of a different kind of personality to appreciate the mule and to work with her.
She was the only artist that could really capture the essence of mules and donkeys. The mules and donkeys are really good teachers and teachers of life lessons. And Bonnie has just been an inspiration to me ever since. Wow, how'd it do?
Whoa. I know that all through the years, Meredith gives tours to the ranch. But what a wonderful addition to this whole ranch would be a sculpture park just for the mules and the donkeys. So I just thought it was an awesome idea. And then she let me be part of it. It's a wonderful thing, and when you come to visit the Lucky Three, it's just an added bonus. Mule people, you reckon I could get Meredith to make a tape on how to teach your mule to shovel snow? I sure gonna try. Wish me luck.
Just a wonderful human being, and working with her is always humorous. She is just funny as the day is long, and so I thought that she would be absolutely perfect as the illustrator for the Jasper series that I wanted to do.
The Daydreamers was inspired by a thing that I saw years ago. I heard about this family up in Kentucky. They'd been working tobacco out in the field with their mules. And one of the boys, he was laying across this mule's back, laying in the shade. They'd been working, and he was resting on the back of his mule in the shade. That just kind of stuck with me, and I thought, gee, a kid like that, you know, he thinks he's stuck on the farm. He thinks he's stuck doing all this terrible old work, and he's laying up there and he's daydreaming about getting away from it all. So that's where Daydreamer came from. Sculpture's not the only thing I do. Matter of fact, I got into sculpture maybe a little later in my career. Mostly, I was known for my pencil drawings and my acrylic paintings for many, many years.
Long ears art. It may be whimsical, like a cartoon, or it may simply be breathtaking. Long ears are taking their place in the world of art, and it's the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
By now you've noticed that your donkey has his own style of learning and his own pace. Take your time and make sure these training lessons are pleasurable for you both. You're perfecting your own style of training here and establishing a good rapport with your donkey, a rapport that will last a lifetime. You might also notice that the one word I use over and over again is patience. Don't expect perfection from your donkey in the very beginning. You can ask for a better response each time you work with him. It may take 3 or 4 sessions before he begins to move away from you as you want. As I mentioned before, training a donkey is a longer process than training a horse or mule, but the end result is worth the effort. Once your donkey has learned to move away when you ask, you can teach him to lunge. In lunging, he'll learn more voice commands that will be the foundation for all his future training. But be advised that your donkey may not lunge well in the round pen and not at all on a lunge line until after he has broke to saddle for all 3 gaits. Nonetheless, lunging helps your donkey stay fit. Lunging develops muscles, balance, and rhythm. It is also good exercise and a great way to help him stay in condition on days when you do not ride. We'll go to the familiar round pen with the halter and lead rope. Make sure you protect his legs with splint boots and have a lunge whip nearby. Begin by reviewing what he's learned so far. Then, release the lead from the halter. Pick up the lunge whip and hold it in your right hand. Use your left hand to point in the direction you want your donkey to travel. Raise both arms in unison and ask him to walk on. Make your movements big. If he doesn't move out, lower both arms and repeat the gesture and verbal command. If he still doesn't move out at your command, give him a firm tap on the gaskin just below the tail and above the hock. Now you should take a step back and let him think about what you've asked him to do. Ideally, he will walk on with no further need for another cue. If he does, praise him extravagantly so he knows he is doing what you want. If he does not walk on, repeat the process but hit the wall behind him to encourage him to move forward. Do not hit him unless he absolutely refuses to go forward. Then repeat on the leg just above the hock, but only once. Then hit the wall behind him again. If he drifts towards the center, just move into him, pointing to the wall and encouraging him with the whip. You must be careful to use the whip as a cue, not a punishment. If he feels he's being punished, he will only tense up and stop. Remember that donkeys freeze when they're confused or frightened, and you will get nowhere with him at that point. Make sure you ask your donkey to go further each time you work with him. He's so smart, he might think you only want him to walk a few steps, then quit. In the beginning, only ask him to go in one direction and change directions with each new lesson. We'll teach him to reverse a little later once he's learned what we want. When training your donkey, make sure you have plenty of time. You never want to be in a hurry. You want your time together to be a fun and enjoyable experience with each of you learning about the other. Most of us today are on fast forward. Remember that your donkey is on slow-mo. For each training session with your donkey, review all he has previously learned. Always lead him to and from the workstation in a showmanship manner, holding the lead in your left hand with your right arm extended forward. Groom him and clean his feet. Review the turn on the forehand and the turn on the hindquarters in the round pen. Send him forward to the rail in the round pen at the walk. You may have discovered that you need to follow him more closely than you would a horse or a mule. Staying in the middle of the round pen while you lunge him may not be practical to keep him moving. Just stay behind him and to the side while driving him forward with your lunge whip, touching him with it only when absolutely necessary. Match your steps with his. Walk only as fast as he chooses. If you get into a hurry, he will stop. Be sure to give the command to whoa every time you want him to stop and reward him. Now that he is moving out well at the walk, we can teach a reverse. As he is walking forward easily in the round pen, turn away from him completely around until you are in front of him. Step toward him, lay the whip ahead of him, and give the command to reverse. Be aware of his space. Do not rush at him or he may turn improperly. We want him to turn into the rail and resume the opposite direction. Give him plenty of time to make the turn and ask him to walk on. If he has difficulty, take a few steps forward and with the whip tap him gently on the shoulder to encourage him to turn. There is a purpose to turning away from him rather than just running ahead of him to turn him. By turning back the opposite way that he's traveling, you are establishing a new direction of travel, as well as giving him time to see that there will be a change in his movement. Most donkeys learn this very quickly. So far, your donkey has worked only in his halter. At this point, there may be a difference between mules and donkeys. He has learned the walk and the reverse. Now he needs to learn the command to trot. Some donkeys will take exception to this command if they do not see a purpose. It is at this point that I introduce the saddle or driving harness if he is too small to ride. I will also introduce him to the bridle at the same time. Let your donkey see the harness or saddle and slowly put it all on. Most donkeys will let you do this quite easily without sacking out. Just be careful when you tighten the cinch and don't make it too tight at one time. Don't forget your splint poots. Carefully put on the bridle as if he has always worn it. Press on the bars of his mouth to insert the bit and fold his ears forward through the headstall. Use a drop noseband to keep his mouth closed over the bit. Once he is tacked up, review his turns and send him to the rail of the round pen again at the walk. Then give the command to trot and move towards his hindquarters with the whip, shuffling your feet in the dirt to make some noise. If he trots at this point, great. Don't hit him with the whip. If he isn't trotting, you may use the whip once at the gaskin. Use big motions with your arms to encourage him forward or strike the fence. Once he trots a few steps, tell him to whoa and reward him. Ask him to trot just one more time during this lesson, then call it a day. Ask him to go a little further with each lesson, but only ask him to trot twice. Once he's learned to trot, you can begin teaching him rein cues. Tie the stirrups together and run the drive lines through them. Keep things simple by using a line of one color for the right and another color for the left. Just stay consistent from lesson to lesson. Ground drive him at a walk and reverse. Use your whip for cues at the shoulder and the gaskin. Remember, just a touch. Give the rein cues with a gentle give and take and not a direct hard pull. To end, stop and back him. As with everything, take this next step slowly. Check your girth one last time. Test your weight on the stirrups on both sides. If he's calm, bring your leg over his back and settle slowly into the saddle. Mount and dismount several times and do it on both sides. If he's calm, you can stay mounted. Encourage him to bend his head and neck around to each side with light rein contact and a treat. When you're ready to move out, ask your assistant to help. Your assistant will lead your donkey forward a few steps with you on board. Both of you give the command to walk on while you squeeze with your legs. You may be using a riding crop to reinforce the cue if necessary. All you want right now is 2 steps. Then give him lots of praise so he knows he's doing the right thing. Mount and dismount several times until your donkey is used to this process. Now that your donkey understands this process, you may want to introduce him to driving. Even if you don't plan to use your animal for driving, the ground driving lessons we'll be covering next will prepare you and your donkey for more advanced lessons. Be sure to join us next time when we'll talk about the fascinating world of cart and carriage driving.
Having problems? Need an accessible trainer? Whether you're just a weekend trail rider or showing, the principles of training are the same. You want a safe and reliable equine companion. Produced by Meredith Hodges, Training Mules and Donkeys, a logical approach to long ears, will help you build a good working relationship with your animal. Meredith reveals the secrets of successful maintenance and resistance-free training that can be implemented by anyone, resulting in a satisfying partnership between you and your equine. Meredith answers your training questions promptly via mail or phone. Her books are great general resources and her videos are detailed, outlining the day-to-day exercises needed to produce a versatile and dependable equine companion. Meredith's techniques work with all equines. Do you have children? Grandchildren? Check out Jasper, the story of a mule. For more information, check out our website at www.lucky3ranch.com or call 1-800-816-7566.
Mules are working their way into the hearts of people everywhere. If you'd like to know more about these wonderful long-eared animals, you can contact us at 1-800-816-7566 or get on our website at lucky3ranch.com.
Dusty old quilt hung crooked on a couch in an old stone house by a lazy river.